Pay your people better. April 19th, 2026. Got an Amazon shipment in today. Two, technically. Come on, let's get in there. So I've realized why it does what it does. Because I've got the little lights on top. And they're like providing a little bit of additional getting in the way, but it also kind of helps keep it in place too, which is nice. So I got the Instant Pot. I was just about to open it. I was just opening it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was setting all this up so I could have a video. So I got the Instant Pot here. Never had an Instant Pot before. Had a rice cooker. I've had a slow cooker. Evidently, this is essentially both of those things. And then some, of course. It's a pressure cooker. So we'll put that back in here. So one of the things I prefer to do, especially when it comes to an appliance like this, is keep the box. Just in case, when time comes to move, or if I need to sell it or something, whatever the situation may be. So, okay. Now I just got to make sure that I keep it relatively clean. Which will be a challenge. Because as much as I try to keep these types of things clean, you usually kind of fuck it up a bit after a bit. That's the police, looks like. Let's see. Advertisement. Warning. Hot steam from steam release valve can cause burns. Do not place hand, face, or unprotected skin over the steam release valve while cooker is in operation. Remove tag before use. All right. Close. Open. Ta-da! Nice. And I mean, I can feel the durability of it all too. Of course, it has the sensor at the bottom. Warning. Make sure the heating element is free from grease and debris. Do not leave food on the heating element. Only use genuine Instant Pot inner pots for cooking. Remove card before use. All right, well, card has been removed. Yeah, you don't want to fire it. It's like, and obviously these can be potentially dangerous because what was used for the Boston bombing was a pressure cooker. Now I've got my bidet as well, bidet attachment. I'm going to see if it does what it needs to do. We will see. It's supposed to be the one where it works with basically every toilet seat except for very specific toilet seats. So I've cleaned the toilet up a bit to make sure before I can do anything with it. And I've got my little wipes so I can use those. Come over here. My zero water filters. I was going to buy a 4-pack of these, but the 4-pack went up in price from $12 for one to $15 for one out of the 4-pack. So it increased by $12. So I was like, well, I can pay $15 per, or I can go up to 2 more to the 6-pack and get a little bit more. So, went ahead and did this. That way, because while I don't only drink filtered water, it is nice to have filtered water. I drink mostly filtered water, I will say. Speaking of wipes, let's see what we got. It says 5-in-1. I'm just curious what each one of them is. Let's see, this is disinfecting 5-in-1. Citrus flavor, so to speak. This one is Brand New Day, mango and hibiscus. I'm not a fan of mango, sadly. I know, blasphemous. This is from a previous order. Of course, this is your typical everyday Lysol flavor. This one is more of the citrus. All right, so put the citrus back there. keep one citrus out, put the rest down here, because they're all basically the same except for with different flavors and smells. I gotta wipe down a little bit of this countertop at the moment. Whoops. That's not supposed to break off. Oh well. Yeah, because like the little thing right here. I guess during shipping, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Now, do that. Just kind of shove you back in there. And just clip you back on. Alright. Clean up this, I guess like some sticky, maybe some, I don't know, sugar or sugarified something got on here. Wipe that down. Alright. I'm gonna have to wipe down this whole countertop at some point anyway, because I gotta make pita. And to make the pita, I'm gonna need to have the surface piece for it. Because I got the dough, rather. There's the dough that I made yesterday that I showcased. And I know that these wipes are effectively wasteful. I could be using, sponges, or I could use, paper towels are also wasteful. I could also use, let's wipe down these areas real quick, just to kind of get the fingerprints off and stuff. But the thing is, for me, is I've got to work with what my brain will allow me to do. And this is easy to use when the time calls for it. I need to have options. If I take away my options, then what I do is I only make things worse for myself when it comes to cleaning. And so I've got to incorporate more options, not fewer options. And so while yes, that is a bit wasteful, the greater good, so to speak, the greater good. If I edited videos, I would have thrown that in there, but I don't edit anymore. For the greater good, the overall purpose of everything, it's just better off. I'm gonna have a cleaner place than a dirtier one. And now that the gift card has come in, the direct deposit from the tax returns have both come in. We're looking at over $2,000 worth. And of course, I've already spent a good $500 on, useful things in some capacity or another. So I've got a $90 Instant Pot, but now I can make rice in it. And I can do it right. Because, and that's another thing. You might be thinking, well, why do you need to do it right with an expensive product? And it's just because I cannot seem to make it work on the stovetop. It just doesn't want to work. And so I'm going to work with what I can do. And so I know via my old methods with the rice cooker, and especially using the chicken stock, and because I've got to be able to mitigate space more with chicken stock and having rice on the side, that's two things where instead I can mix them together, make really awesome rice on its own, and then throw in, a can of beans or something, and then boom, now I've effectively concentrated the capabilities of both of those things into less space, and then I've increased the probability that I'm going to want to cook those things and eat those things and get the benefits of those things as well. So I can do the same with the lentils as well. Can cook the lentils in there. I can slow cook something if I need to. Now it's not super big. It is a 3-quart. Like I said, well, maybe that's about the same size actually. So, okay, maybe that's a 3-quart. I thought that was 4. I don't know. But either way, it's roughly the same size. So that's even better. Now that I have, I think maybe I was thinking of this, which I think is actually a 5-quart stock pot. And, I was watching a video yesterday of Alex, the guy who was doing the French cooking and stuff, and he was showcasing how you could make some French onion soup using, you know, a pressure cooker. And I was just like, okay, that makes sense. Like, you can't do everything, but you can cook them down easier in the pressure cooker. Now, he was using a stovetop pressure cooker, which is a little different because then you can use it on the stove, you can cook blah, 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 and then throw on the lid and everything and whatnot. And that's practical, but it's not what I'm after. And so what I could do, I'm probably not going to be making French onion soup anytime soon, or even caramelized onions. Like, as much as I like them, they are a pretty intensive thing to do. But like, I could do enough in this to also mitigate the overall, like, use of other things. Like, so like, if I need to make me some rice one day, just throw it in there, pop it in. And it's usually pretty easy to clean up after the fact too. So, you know, it's all a learning curve. Speaking of learning, oh yeah, I got me an Icelandic English dictionary. Like, whoa, what the hell? Is that SJO? Yeah. It's O with the diaeresis, the two dots on the top. And there's a lot of those. Like, a lot. Interesting too. So, let me see if I can find it real quick. It doesn't look like... Okay, here's an example. Hold on, let me see if... Oh, and there's another kind of O. I wonder if there's only two kinds of O's. Nope, there's three. Okay, that'll be fun. So you have the O normal, and then you have the O with a little accent. I'm doing it backwards so that you can see it better. And then you have the O with the two dots, the diaeresis. I think it's called a diacritic for the little accent mark. But here's the thing about the Icelandic English, or the Icelandic dictionary. When it comes, so in this case specifically, because you have those three options, you will have, let's say, words that start with SO. We're just gonna, instead of saying SJ, we'll go to SO. So SP, element OP. Okay, so I have, where are you at? SN, SOD. So the SOD. Wow. The first SO word in this dictionary is broth or gravy. I love it. It's just a fun little coincidence. You love those things. So SO, right? And so if I keep going down the SO, now I've got sortera, which is sort. Then it goes to, I don't remember, I think it's soa, and then it's like, I think it's, maybe it's an ow, I can't remember, no, that's the AW, that's the A with the diacritic. I think, but it might be close to a, maybe it's an oo actually, it could be soothe, which is interesting because soothe, broth, gravy, those things typically have this, I could be wrong though. I have to look to see what the actual like pronunciations are. The question is, we've got abbreviations, adverbs, prepositions, adjectives, pronouns, verbs, dictionary usage guide. What about vowels? Oh, we got letters, letter Icelandic equivalent. A, okay, here we are. More. Okay. More, versus with the one with the diacritic, or the accent, what did I call the fucking thing? I don't know. Oh, okay. So it's like soft O versus short O versus long O, Whereas the O, which is diuresis, okay, that's what it was, diuresis, is more like an I sound, like though, So it's like girl or worker, worker. Interesting. So you have the short O, sod, sod. Then you have the long O, more, or, sore, sod, sod. Then you have, this is going to be interesting for me. Then you have the long O, the oo, long O, the long O sound, the actual O sound. That one is with the diacritic. So the first one of those is soa, soa, waste. More, over, old. But those are so close. More versus O, like in low. Wow. Differences are small. Okay. And then, like I said, the diuresis. It's like, even when it goes down to the vowels, it has the A with the diacritic accent, E, then E with diacritic, then I with diacritic, O with diacritic, U with diacritic, Y with diacritic, AE, which is the I sound, and then the O with the diuresis, shortened I, basically, girl. So that's fun. But yeah, now I have a lot of words that I can work with. I wonder where, let me see. Sexual shudder. Oh wait, interesting. Some of the words are literally the same? Oh. Wait a minute. There's the English side, the English Icelandic dictionary, and then the Icelandic English dictionary. So this is 2 dictionaries in one. I didn't realize that when I bought it. I thought it was just the English, or the Icelandic words with the English pronunciations and words and stuff. I didn't realize it was going to be the other way. It makes sense that it would be this way, but I just didn't realize. So like V, for instance, the V letters, Vaxtar, growth. Then what's after V is the thorn, the little TH thing. So this is going to be fascinating. But what I wanted to look at in the V section, oh wait, no, it's V, then there's just not that many V's and Y's. And there's one Z, zip drive. Zip drive. But there is no Z sound. It's an S sound. Zip. Zip drive. Zip drive. Nobody uses zip drives. Hold on. Yidari. But no, Yggdrasil. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to go to the G section first. Come on. F, Y, N. No! Come on. Where's the, like... Guys, you could have done... Hold on. Where's the TH section? Where's Thor? Like, the very last letter, apparently, is that O with diuresis. That's interesting. Because it doesn't do, like, A's and long A's in the same, like we do in America, like in the English language, that also incorporates American English. We have A, B, C, D, E. They have A, B, C, D, E, E. But the pronunciation of the E's are different as well. I think the typical A is pronounced as A, A-S-M-R, like ASMR. And there's the I, the A-E sound. This goes after the TH. If I go Dorskjör, wait, There's like a break line between the Thorsk and Ur. Hold on. What does that mean? Introduction to Icelandic. What I need to see is, we've got the ice. Well, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the most interesting video to watch. So anyway, so I got the soaps that I'm going to use once the whittling knife shows up, and the little baskets that come with it. Those are going to be like my starter carvings. I'm going to try to carve tonberries from the Final Fantasy realm. This feels surprisingly like in good quality. The plastic is a bit much, a bit thick. I'm not fond of having all this excess plastic. This is like not dishwasher safe, stackable, robust. It does feel robust. This is going to be mostly for my pens. While I don't have a ton of them, I have enough that I need to, at the very least, get a little bit of organization on my desktop. And I got this color because I was like, it will stand out. I'm starting to like pink more. Why? I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff that's come today. My set of bidets in there. This is much more sturdy. Ooh, it feels like it could actually be used on a stovetop. That's pretty cool. PC Max. I have to read up on some of that, I'm sure. Okay. Heating element. That'll help spread the heat out. Okay, put that on the bottom. Cool. Put you back on top at least for now. Oh, wait a minute. Might be wrong about the heating element. I don't know. It doesn't want to do anything. So maybe it's an additional, maybe it's an accessory. Okay. Just put it in there for now. Hold on, let me see what happens if I put it there. Put it down there. And I put this up here. And I go over here. Oh, okay. So yeah. Seems to be an extra little bit, which is fine. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh, almost. I'm gonna need to get this down right. Oh, come on. That would be why. Cool. Alright. But I'm also going to have to find a place to put it. One thing I'm going to need to do is clean up these clothes that are at the bottom, and that'll probably end up where it's at. Worst case scenario, I might put it in one of these like cabinets over here, but I'd like it to be regularly accessible, because otherwise it'll become, you know, less accessible. Okay, so put all of these in the box where it came from. And so, to kind of like, I guess, expand on some other stuff. You know, the World of Warcraft thing being what it is, I moved over to Final Fantasy 14. I'm hoping I don't allow myself to use that as like the literal spend all my goddamn time doing other shit thing, instead of, you know, doing things like cleaning up and cooking and, you know, going and doing the things that I'm, you know, taking care of my responsibilities and whatnot. So I still have a couple of mason jars, the bigger ones that I haven't used yet, but that'll come in due time, I think. I don't want to. I bought them specifically so that I could have more storage space when the time came. For what? I don't know. You know, I might just dump all my... Actually, that might be a good idea. Well, the thing is that I have the mac and cheese, but I don't need to use it right now. And I could put all the mac and cheese away in it, and I could be like, well, let's divvy out X amount, so we'll figure it out. It's only been a month and a half, almost 2 months now, since I moved in here. Having every contingency in place is not something that is practical at the moment. I mean, I still gotta fucking clean the toilet so I can put the bidet on so I can waste less toilet paper. And also, so it's gonna be easier on my back now. Apparently, when I went to go see the doctor yesterday, she prescribed me some lidocaine patches, which, like, that's cool. I'd never had that before. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. We will see. I do have to go see my my actual, my OG PCP on Thursday. Got a busy week ahead of me. Because like on Wednesday, I gotta go out to Arcadia to the mental health to go see my psychiatrist. So that's a thing, and in is blah, 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 blah. In of itself, words in. I wonder, can this fit? Oh, just barely. Just barely. I have a feeling I might be getting a lot of use out of this, at least in the next couple of months. After that, when the whole Iceland trip happens, or doesn't, because I get some kind of injury and it prevents me from going, and then I, kick myself and lament life. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? Yeah, it's just I gotta move some stuff around today. I gotta clean off this countertop. Then I gotta clean some dishes, but I also gotta make those pita breads. Well, I can't make the pita breads just yet. I gotta remake the what's-its, the hummus. Yeah. All right. I think for now the video is done. So have fun.